Hi y'all, Stephanie here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. So today, by the title of this video, you know that I want to talk about living in the moment, being a happy mom, and contentment, and how I think those all kind of blend together. As moms, we often go around anticipating everybody else's needs and even the moods of our children, and we'll be watching a fireworks show, and then while we're trying to enjoy the fireworks show, we're thinking about the possible meltdown on the way home because now we've stayed up so late. Or while we're trying to throw a party, we're thinking about whether or not everybody's gonna leave on time so we can get our kids to bed on time so we don't have a cranky morning. And that can really cause us to not enjoy where we are because we're constantly thinking about what's going to happen next. What is our kids' next behavior going to be? And in some senses, it's positive that we are trying to anticipate needs so that we can be ready to meet them. But in other ways, it's really just us trying to be extremely controlling, as if we can control the emotions and feelings of everyone around us. And it can really cause us to not even enjoy the fireworks and not even enjoy the party because we're so busy trying to anticipate what's going to happen next. And it's not that we're anticipating a positive what's going to happen next. And we may very well be right. I mean, you know your children, especially toddlers as moms. Some of that is our job even to give them, not put them in circumstances that continually push them past their limits and then be frustrated when they're past their limits, right? So again, there's good to this, but I think we have to weigh it out with also being able to, I'm going to sit with the toddler in my lap and I'm going to enjoy the beautiful fireworks show. And all I'm going to do is enjoy the beautiful fireworks show. And if there's a meltdown on the way home, then I will deal with that as it comes. But I'm also not going to continually think of my children based on what negative behavior may come next. Because if I'm thinking of my children that way, it's going to be very hard to be a happy mom. It's going to be very hard to enjoy them if I'm continually, instead of enjoying the good moments, just anticipating the negative moments. If you've ever sat and like walked in on your kids playing nicely together, and rather than just, they're playing nicely together, you allow your brain to go, but this won't last. They'll start fighting soon. And then they do. And then you kind of are like, see, I knew it. That didn't do you any good. You missed that moment of being grateful for the peace while it existed because you were so consumed with what was going to come next. And I think that, you know, it robs us of our contentment in the moment because we're, again, thinking of the next thing. A lot of times when people talk about contentment, they're thinking about being happy with what you have instead of wanting better. And that is contentment too, right? Like, you know, taking this moment for what it is rather than always thinking about the next moment. But it's not always that we're thinking about a better next moment. Sometimes it's that we're consumed with a negative next moment. So I think being content and being a happy mom, a lot of it is just being present where we are. And no, the whole day is not going to be as enjoyable as some of those moments. But that doesn't mean we have to discard those moments just because they don't make it through the entire day. Just because there's not a whole day where there aren't any sibling squabbles doesn't mean we can't really breathe in, breathe out, and enjoy the peace when there aren't sibling squabbles for a little bit. We can savor that. We can enjoy that. And I think the more we do that, the more we're even teaching our brain to focus on that, to anticipate that, to see the good in our kids and the good in our home and the good in our environment, rather than always anticipating these negative things going to happen. And I think when we learn to enjoy the good and not always be anticipating the bad, and we savor that, then when the behavior comes that we don't care for, the meltdown or the sibling squabbles or whatever it is, we're able to know that that too won't last, that there is going to be another moment that's going to come and we'll be present in that moment and it will be better. So I encourage you as best you can, while still anticipating needs that are necessary, to know if your kid's going to need a snack afterwards, things like that, to enjoy the good moments, to give yourself permission to not think about what's going to happen next, but just to savor the good moments. They're not all going to be good and they're not all going to be bad, but we don't need to miss the good looking for the bad. So I hope that video encourages you today. Leave down below if you have similar experiences with being present with your children, and I'll talk to you next time.